Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Toluade. This video is going to be mistakes that I made in my driving test so that you don't have to make them. We are currently in New York City. We're in a different country, different scenery, so it's kind of like a podcast, a chit chat. I did my theory test in January 2025, and I made it my goal that why is it so windy right now? I made it my goal that I want to pass my driving test, so like first time, because I just want to start driving, want to start doing all that, going places for myself. Did my 12 lessons as per usual, and I finished them in like May, so I was on the waiting list. I took my first test in November and I failed. I got 10 minors, so I'm gonna go into them so you guys don't make the same mistakes. And I also did my test in February and I passed. So the first minor I got was on the position on the straight. So what they mean by that is that I was like, when you go straight, you're meant to be like center left, so more to the left side, whereas I was center, I actually don't even know what he said on it, I can't remember. So I was more center, just not in center left. So make sure you do that so you don't make that mistake and get a minor. Second of all, I got observation moving off, changing lanes and turning left. So I got observation moving off because you're meant to check your blind spots, guys. Always check those blind spots because that is what they are looking for. Like, you can fail for not checking them, which I did. So yeah, so always check your mirrors. Those are one of the most important things in driving, so do that. And then I got another one for react and anticipation, react to hazards. I don't really know, but I can't really remember what it was, but I can say that just make sure you're very aware to hazards, and like if you see a car on your way, make sure you check your mirror, and if it's safe to do so, overtake them. Don't just like stay still. I got another one for vehicle controls. I got clutch and gears, and the clutch is because I stalled the second we left the test center. But you know what, it's okay. If you stall, you're not going to fail your test, but they probably might mark you down. They probably will mark you down, yeah. So what tip can I tell you guys about that? Just first of all, be calm. Like, it's so fine to stall. Like, even now that I've passed, sometimes I have the odd stall, and it's even like funny. So like, it's just like, oh, like, it's just more about make sure you work on your bite and point pressure so you don't stall. But even if you do, just react well. Gears, I think I wasn't changing my gears correctly. I think I was in one gear for too long because I knew where we were going in this test route, so I knew that we're going to turn soon. So you turn in second gear. So when I got into that road, I stayed in second gear because I knew I was going to turn soon, rather than going up to third gear and then going down to second gear. I stayed in second gear. So make sure you just do all your gear stuff, make sure you're in the right gear. I got this one because basically there's this like the same road that I was on the second gear on for too long, so you're meant to like it's such a weird box, so you kind of have to go into the road markings to get into the box like perfectly, unless you be way off. So I did that, but apparently I didn't abide by road markings. So if you don't fit fully into the box, just don't go onto the road markings and just get into it. And then for parking, I got competently, and it's because I parked so bad that day. Like, when I parked that day, I knew that I already knew I failed because that parking was horrendous. It was not good. It's all the stuff I got for the first time I failed the only time I failed my driving test. So I only got 6 minors on the one that I passed. I got one for rules and checks because I was so stressed that whole day. Like, story time coming out on that driving test day because it was the most hectic day ever. Not have time to like deep their road signs and all that. I just had to go in there, so I got one for that. That's fine. Just make sure you learn your road signs because you don't want to have a minor. Like, you don't want to have a minor. You want to just feel calm going to your test. And I still felt calm. I didn't even know I got a minor for it anyway. And then progress. So I got progress 2 times at the roundabouts and 1 to turn left. So except for the roundabouts, I went into it like at third gear, and then I'll stop. Even though no one's there, I'll stop and go into first gear and then go. And I feel like I did that because I was just so nervous. Like, I didn't want to make any mistakes. So I just made sure I just did that. So he said just go into second gear when you're coming up to a roundabout, go into second gear, check if no one's there, and then go. You don't have to stop, you don't have to do all that, just check unless you actually see someone's there. And then for turn right, same thing. Probably was taking too long to turn right when I had space. So I got one for speed, road conditions. So this one was, I was going to estate. Guys, listen clearly. Some estates are only 30 kilometers. I thought all roads in Ireland were 50 kilometers. Like, I did not know that estates could be 30 kilometers. And so make sure you just check the road signs, or just if you're like doing it in an area you're familiar with, then just remember it so that you don't make the mistake I did. And then turnabout, he gave me competently for this one is so silly, like it's so silly, because he said I did it in 5 turns or something like that. I don't know if it's because I did it in 5 turns or if I was taking too long to like put my gear to reverse, because my car I was trying to put into reverse. Tell me why me and him were sitting there for 1 minute. I was doing like pulling into reverse for like a good minute there. I was like, it wasn't going into reverse. I was like, and eventually it went to reverse. But since the road is so tiny, and my instructor told me that this road is tiny, so you're gonna have to do the turnabout in 5 turns. Like you just have to, so you don't hit the curb. So I did in 5 turns. It was a good turnabout, but I guess he gave it to me as competently. So, but don't stress. Like, if you have to do in 5 turns, you have to do in 5 turns. Like, so those are the mistakes I made on my driving test. So you don't have to make the same mistakes. Good luck to everyone doing their driving test, and don't be afraid. God got you. Like, God's will happen. If you know how to drive, you're fine. Like, you are so fine. Don't let them make you stress. And God is so faithful, because so much was happening that day, and even know what was gonna happen, I didn't know if I was even gonna sit the exam, and God made a way. So more on the story time later, but just hope those tips are helpful for you guys, and make sure you guys like, comment, and just subscribe, and let me know more videos you want to see. Bye.